Hello, everyone. I'm Nicholas Rodriguez,
And I'm Zachary George.
and this is Talks and Ties. Today, we're going to be talking about life and death, essentially. What gives life meaning for us, and then we're going to continue to talk about other cases like Gary Gilmore and the other two women who were talking about assisted suicide. But I feel like first we should talk about each other's perspective on life and what meaning it has.
Yeah. So Nick, what gives you your life meaning?
I feel like for me it's music, because ever since I was very young I would love to listen and play to music, the violin, sing, whatever I had at the time. I feel like through music I'll find happiness, joy, love, all of that. Mm-hmm. What do you feel?
Well, for me, what gives my life value is having a family when I get older and being able to support them, like just by myself, and be able to give them a comfortable life and just teach them right from wrong and just be a dad.
It's pretty good. I like that. So Zach, how do you feel about Gary Gilmore?
Gary Gilmore, I think that what he did was probably the right decision, because he was going to die no matter what, and it would have been a burden on the state and probably just his own life.
Yeah.
Killing, the death penalty is a different topic, but I think what he did was the right decision, because he knew he was going to die no matter what. So
yeah,
he just took it upon himself to, have the state kill him, as soon as they did, and that just spared tax dollars from being wasted, pretty much.
So it's a lot about the economy.
Yeah, it was just it would have been wasted for nothing, because he would have died no matter what.
Yeah,
because he was not going to be out of jail.
It's very expensive to keep a prisoner in prison for the rest of their life. He was quite young as well, so he would have lived a full life in jail, and maybe he would have ended up being, stabbed or killed in there by another inmate. But you can't rely upon that, especially in that kind of sense. It's really morbid. I feel like
needed paperwork.
Yeah, it's a long, tedious process to keep a prisoner in prison for the rest of their life, especially if they wanted to die.
Yeah.
He'd probably find a way to kill himself in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So Zach, how do you feel about Mrs. Maynard?
I'm gonna keep it. No, I think that what she did was probably the right choice. If I was in the same situation, I probably would have done the same thing. She knew she was gonna die, and there's nothing she would have been able to do about it. So she just, wanted her family to see her in her prime, not just a mere frame of what she used to be. Just a rotting corpse, pretty much.
Essentially. It must be a horrible way to go, cancer.
Yeah. But
I would have chosen the same. I would have. It just really depends upon the situation you're in.
Yeah.
I feel like she was in the right situation. She was young enough, and she didn't have a family for her yet, so.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that was probably the right decision. But like with the other girl, Pack. Yeah, that's her name.
Miss Packard.
Yeah, Miss Packard. If I was in her situation, I probably would have done the same thing she did, which was to try to live as long as she could, because she already had a family.
Her children,
Mm-hmm.
her husband, yeah.
Her doctor gave her 3 years to live.
About.
Yeah, so, if that was me, I would have tried to live as long as I could, to see my kids and all that.
Yeah.
Because if it's 3 years, I'm going to try to live the best 3 years that I can.
And she actually went to live on after that.
Mm-hmm.
She continued living. I think she may have lived to last year. I'm not really sure she's dead right now. She could still very well be alive. I don't know. In that kind of situation, it's kind of hard to say what you really would do, because, we're not there.
Yeah.
I don't really wish to be there anytime soon. I don't wish that upon anyone, even my worst enemy. But if I were in that situation, I feel like, I think I would have chosen to stay alive for my children. seeing them grow at least to, I think they're young. One of the oldest was like 10, so see him into his teen years.
Because I mean, even if that was your plan to commit suicide, if that was to happen, I don't think you'd be able to. Not with kids.
Yeah.
Like that'd just be too much.
It would be hard on your heart.
And you just probably couldn't even do that to your kids. So
yeah.
That's like, oof.
It must have hurt.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree with both situations. I think everything can be boiled down to certain situations.
Yeah. You can't say...
most things. I'm not going to say all things, but most things can.
You can't say, like, the same answer for every scenario.
Yeah.
Because, you aren't in the position she is. You don't know
There's
how
always different variables.
Yeah. I can't say definitely. I will always choose death, no matter what, in what position I am in.
Yeah.
It's to sync audio.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. This is my father, and he is now on Talks and Ties. Yeah, I know. It's so foolish. We're here to talk about my grandmother with my dad. So I guess I'll let you explain the situation that we're in, and I guess to precursor, we're talking about death and life and what gives meaning. And I know that right now, if Grandma were given the choice of assisted suicide, you think she would take it, right?
It's something that I've discussed with her, and her views are, I think, similar to what anybody else in her situation would be. And we as young adults, and I say that because speaking to the class, would probably feel the same way, in the sense that they don't want to be a burden for their family members. At some point in life, they realize that they need more help, and they see the stress that it causes on everyone around them.
So, has she actually said that she would prefer assisted suicide?
No, she's never outright said that, but she's hinted at that in essence she feels already that she's a burden, and she doesn't feel that everyone is necessarily doing their part. And that's the hard part, is because we all have families, we all have lives, we have other things going on, and she realizes it's very hard to put her first for everything, because she's at a point where not only is she fragile, in the sense that she can barely walk, she feels very weak. She also has lost her vision recently, and she's just constantly in pain.
Do you, how would that make you feel if, in the end she decided that's what she wanted? Like, do you know, any way of how you would truly feel in that moment she'd tell you that she wanted assisted suicide?
I think even if she did discuss that, it'd be something that me personally, I'm a little selfish in the sense that I wouldn't want her gone, because I still enjoy her presence, I still enjoy her company. And Nicholas here will tell you that I spend every week an entire day with her, which doesn't sound like much. Sometimes there's a lot more. It's not just one day. I plan all her appointments around my days off. There's times where I will tell my kids that, don't bother me, I'm going to be with my mom. I enjoy that time, and I take advantage of it. So for her to tell me that, I think I disregard it more so than anything. And that's me being selfish, because, as a child, I love my mom. She's done everything for me, and it's now my opportunity to return that favor and do everything for her.
I guess that's all. Nothing really much else to say. Thanks, Dad, for joining us here. And hope this wasn't too much We're just trying to get our point across that maybe it's not always the best choice, and there are different things to take into account when talking with your loved ones about assisted suicide and the different scenarios that someone might be in.
Yeah, far more. It's not an easy decision. Regardless of the illness, terminal or not, it's still something that I personally don't think I would want her to follow through with. And there could be an opportunity for me to be in that same position where I don't want to be a burden to my children. They have lives to live, and who knows what the future holds for us, whether they're even in the same city. I'm fortunate to be in that position where I'm still here in the same city with my mother. She didn't have the same with hers. She was constantly making trips to Mexico. So those are all things that I've had to consider, and that I'm fortunate that I have her here. So I take advantage of that time.
Yeah.
And that's essentially where I'm at.
Next step. Okay, everyone. That was Talks and Ties with Zachary James George and Nicholas Rodriguez. Hope you enjoyed. We don't want to do this again. It was hell. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.
Bye.